Good morning. As you open your eyes and look outside, you might notice a world transformed overnight. The familiar sights of your neighborhood are now blanketed in a fresh layer of snow, sparkling under the first light of day. There's a certain magic in the air. A quiet, peaceful stillness that only a true winter morning can bring. If you've been wishing for a real winter, your wish is coming true. For many, this is the kind of winter we remember from childhood stories, where snowflakes drift down endlessly, and every morning feels like a new adventure. The excitement is contagious, especially for kids who can't wait to get outside and play in the snow. A hyperactive pattern is setting up across the central and eastern U.S. Not just one snow chance, but a conveyor belt of them. Weather systems are lining up, one after another, promising frequent rounds of snow and wintry mix. It's a setup that meteorologists call classic winter, and it's rare to see such a persistent pattern this early in the season. The jet stream is pulling frigid Arctic air down from Canada and locking it in place, while moisture from the south is on a collision course. This combination is the perfect recipe for widespread snow events. The cold air acts like a barrier, ensuring that every system passing through has the potential to bring wintry weather, not just rain. This isn't a quick cold snap. Models show this chill persisting through mid-December, maybe longer. Temperatures are expected to stay well below average, with many areas experiencing day after day of freezing conditions. It's the kind of cold that settles in, making you reach for an extra blanket at night and savor a hot drink in the morning. Multiple waves of Arctic air and snow are on the way, even for places that rarely see a white Christmas. Cities in the south, where snow is usually just a rumor, could wake up to a winter wonderland. This pattern is so strong, it's rewriting what we expect from December weather across the country. Get ready for winter weather to become a daily feature, light dustings to moderate accumulations, depending on where you are. For some, it'll mean shoveling the driveway every morning. For others, it's the joy of seeing fresh snow pile up on rooftops and trees. Each day will bring its own surprises as the landscape changes and adapts to the ongoing winter onslaught. The days of mild autumn are over. A robust winter pattern is taking hold. The last of the autumn leaves are now buried beneath snow, and the world outside has shifted from golden hues to a palette of whites and grays. It's a dramatic change, but one that brings its own beauty and sense of renewal. Hats, scarves, gloves, time to dig them out. Winter has truly arrived. Whether you love the cold or just tolerate it, there's no denying the season's arrival. So bundle up, step outside, and take a moment to appreciate the wonder of a proper winter. This year, it's here to stay. Our first notable snow system of the season arrives today, Friday, December 5th, marking a dramatic shift in the weather pattern across the eastern United States. After a relatively mild autumn, this system signals the true arrival of winter for millions. While it's not a blizzard, it's remarkable for how far south it's tracking, delivering the first real taste of winter to the mid-Atlantic, and unusually, deep into the southeast. Towns that rarely see snow this early are waking up to a wintry landscape, with snowflakes drifting down on places more accustomed to rain. Snow began falling early this morning in northern Tennessee and southern Kentucky, quickly spreading eastward through Virginia, West Virginia, and into North Carolina. The storm's broad reach means that several states are experiencing their first measurable snowfall of the season, with roads and rooftops turning white in just a few hours. With temperatures dropping overnight, the ground is cold enough for snow to stick almost immediately. This creates slick, icy conditions on roads and sidewalks, making the morning commute especially hazardous. Drivers are urged to slow down and use extra caution as they navigate the first real winter weather of the year. The heaviest snow bands are staying south of the major northern cities, but coastal areas like southeastern Virginia are in for several hours of steady snowfall. Cities like Norfolk and surrounding neighborhoods could see enough accumulation to blanket streets and yards, creating a classic winter scene right by the Atlantic coast. As the system moves northeast, it grazes the Washington, D.C. area, bringing light snow to the Maryland suburbs and a dusting along the Delaware shore before the clouds finally move out to sea. For many in these regions, it's a brief but memorable encounter with winter's first wave. For countless families, this is the first accumulating snow of the season, a wake-up call to dig out those shovels, check the salt supply, and prepare for more winter weather ahead. Children rush outside to play in the fresh powder while adults clear driveways and sidewalks, reminded that winter is here to stay. The key takeaway: Snow this far south, and this early in December, is a rare event. Palm trees dusted with snow and surprised residents watching flakes fall in southern cities highlight just how unusual this system is. It's a reminder that winter can bring surprises, even to places that don't expect them. This storm is just the opening act for what's shaping up to be a busy and active winter period. Meteorologists are already tracking a series of systems lined up behind this one, each with the potential to bring more snow and ice to the region. The hyperactive pattern is officially underway, and if this first system is any indication, we're in for an eventful season. Stay tuned, stay safe, and get ready for more winter weather in the weeks ahead. Forecasting the weather is a high-stakes puzzle, and at the heart of it are powerful computer models that crunch millions of data points every day. These models are the backbone of modern meteorology, helping forecasters predict everything from sunny skies to major winter storms. Two of the most influential models are the American GFS and the European Euro, also known as the ECMWF. Each has its own strengths, quirks, and loyal followers in the meteorological community. For this particular snow system, these two models couldn't agree. Their forecasts painted very different pictures of what was about to unfold. The Euro model pushed the heaviest snow further north, suggesting a track that would bring significant accumulation to areas that don't always see big storms. Meanwhile, the GFS kept the snowband farther south, hinting at a very different outcome for millions of people. The difference might sound small, but in winter weather forecasting, a shift of just 50 miles in a storm's path can mean the difference between a snow day and a dry commute. For some, it could mean shoveling out from half a foot of snow, while others just a short drive away see nothing but flurries. The Euromodel's scenario had snow reaching into Washington, D.C., blanketing parts of Maryland and even brushing southern Philadelphia. This would have been a big deal for cities on the edge of the snow zone. On the other hand, the GFS model focused its attention on the Carolinas and Virginia, keeping the heaviest snow well to the south and leaving the northern cities mostly out of the action. When the storm finally arrived, reality landed somewhere in between. The heaviest snow did fall to the south as the GFS suggested, but flakes reached farther north than it predicted, enough to dust parts of Maryland and even graze the outskirts of Philadelphia, just as the Euro hinted. This tug-of-war between models is exactly why weather forecasts can change rapidly, sometimes even within hours of a storm's arrival. Meteorologists are constantly updating their predictions as new data comes in. It's not about trusting a single model run. Instead, forecasters analyze all the available data, compare different model solutions, and communicate the range of possible outcomes to the public. It's a blend of science, experience, and a bit of art. In this case, the GFS was a bit closer to reality, but both models offered valuable clues. Sometimes the best forecast comes from finding the middle ground between competing solutions. That's why it's important to stay tuned to updates. Forecasting is a moving target, and new information can shift the outlook quickly. The first storm of the season gave us a classic forecasting nail-biter, keeping meteorologists and the public on edge as the models battled it out. The divide between the GFS and Euro models highlights both the challenge and the excitement of predicting winter weather. It's a reminder that, even with all our technology, nature still has the final say. As winter continues, more surprises are likely ahead, so keep watching, because the next model battle could be just around the corner. As the first system exits, another storm is brewing for the weekend of December 6 to 8. This one involves two jet stream energies, a northern clipper from Canada and a southern moisture stream from the Gulf. The big question, will they merge into a bigger storm? The Euro keeps them separate. Light snow for the Midwest and Ohio Valley, little impact on the East Coast. The GFS predicts a dramatic merger, possibly bringing snow as far south as Georgia and South Carolina. Such a southern snow would be rare and requires perfect alignment. The Euro's scenario is more likely, but the GFS's boom scenario can't be ruled out. All eyes are on whether these jet streams connect. The potential is there for a significant East Coast storm, if the ingredients come together. Why this persistent winter blast? It's all about the jet stream. A big ridge in the west brings warmth, while a deep trough in the east lets Arctic air pour south. This isn't just a surface chill, it's a full-blown polar vortex displacement. The cold is deep and stubborn with reinforcing shots of Arctic air lined up. The ridge west, trough east pattern is locked in, keeping temperatures below average. Brief warm-ups will be short-lived before the next cold wave. This setup is perfect for snow-cold air meets storm-friendly conditions. The boundary between cold and warm air becomes an active storm track. As long as the trough stays, expect sustained cold and repeated snow chances. This is the engine behind our hyperactive winter. To understand this persistent cold, we look at global climate patterns, teleconnections. A sudden stratospheric warming in November disrupted the polar vortex, sending cold south. Its effects took weeks to reach us, but now they're locking in the chill. Another SSW could develop later in December, possibly extending the cold into January. The Madden-Julian oscillation is also in a phase that favors a deep eastern trough and more snow. These global drivers reinforce each other, giving forecasters confidence in a sustained winter pattern. The alignment of these signals means the cold isn't leaving soon. Atmospheric science is playing out in real time. Here's a winter paradox: above average snowfall, but below average total precipitation. Why? The storm track is split. Northern clippers bring quick, light snows, while the southern jet's moisture is suppressed. These clippers don't have much moisture, but the cold air turns every drop into fluffy snow. The snow-to-liquid ratio jumps. Less water, more snow. A small, moisture-starved storm can still drop several inches of snow in this cold. So, we get frequent, light to moderate snows that add up even without a blockbuster storm. The result, a lasting snowpack and a persistently white landscape. It's quality over quantity. More snow, less water. That's the paradox of this Arctic-dominated winter. Temperatures are about to be as big a story as the snow. Multiple Arctic blasts are lined up for the next 2 weeks, with little relief in sight. The next major cold push arrives December 8-10, dropping highs into the 20s and 30s, lows into the single digits and teens. Wind chills will make it feel even colder, especially in the Midwest and Northeast. Models disagree on how long the cold lasts, but both show a colder than average pattern through mid-December. Any snow that falls will stick around building the snowpack. Lake effect snow will ramp up, especially in the Great Lakes region. Prepare for higher heating bills and take precautions for yourself, pets, and home. This is a midwinter cold spell arriving early. December's first half is locked in for cold and snow across much of the country. A deep eastern trough, global teleconnections, and repeated Arctic blasts are creating a hyperactive winter. More snow is in the forecast for the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and East Coast. Be prepared but stay flexible. Storm tracks can shift, changing who gets the most snow. Frequent smaller snow events in this cold air can add up to significant totals. Make sure your home, car, and wardrobe are winter ready. This weather demands respect, but it also brings winter joys: sledding, skiing, and snowy landscapes. Winter has arrived with a bang, and it's a meteorologist's dream. Dig out the gear, keep the shovels handy, and plan for disruptions. Stay warm, stay safe, and enjoy this memorable December.